Hey, this is Al Bain from Al Bain for Leather, and I want to talk to you about a process that most people take for granted, but I think it's really important to address it, and that is safety concerns and loading the needle side of the Class 4, or any other sewing machine for that matter, but this happens to be a Cobra Class 4. Okay, so we're going to look over here, and if you notice, the threads are just kind of dangling after the last operator was in here working, right? There's the edge guide is here, the other secondary edge guides here. All this apparatus is here. But now we have to get the thread, the final step of threading the needle is to get the needle thread through the inner foot, right? And then we want both of our threads back and away toward 1 o'clock. So if the center of the feed dog is the center of a clock face, 1 o'clock would be over in this corner, right? So we do this in a way where we don't allow ourselves to put ourselves at any kind of risk, okay? And by risk, I'm talking about that needle right there. We don't want to be underneath it ever, right? So if you get your finger underneath this little area, underneath the foot, you're potentially going to hurt yourself. Anything can go. You can bump the pedal or whatever, and the needle cycles, and now you got a hole in your finger. So the objective here is to talk about it in a way where no matter what we do, we don't ever get in that danger zone. We make it into a habit through repetitive motion. Okay, so here's the needle thread. I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to take my right hand thumb, and I'm going to approach it from here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it toward, but right in front of where the feed dog and the presser foot would line up. And I've got my thread in my hand. I'm going to push down on it right up against the throw plate and then slide in. Now you see the thread itself is already inside the foot, but my finger is nowhere under the foot. So now I'm going to take that thread and simply pull back on it, and it just naturally falls into place. Let's do it again. So there it is, just naturally laying. My side of my thumb is my objective piece. I'm going to push down in front of the foot, slide back pretty close, and then simply pull the thread into the foot. Now remember that back and away at 1 o'clock, but we've got all this hardware in the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my right hand through the neck, throat of the machine, and I'm going to bring it over to this side, and I'm going to just hold the needle thread with a little tension in this hand. Remember, we want the bobbin thread at 1 o'clock as well, but I don't want the needle thread to slip, so I'm just going to hold it with a little bit of tension back and away at 1 o'clock. Say it with me, back and away at 1 o'clock. So now I'm going to take the bobbin thread and pick it up with my left hand and give it to my right hand. This isn't enough though, we're not quite done. What I want to do is I want to wrap the needle and bobbin thread around my middle finger and grip it in my hand, and then push down with my thumb behind where the roller guide is and flat. Did I say that right? Flat. I can spell it if you want. F-L-A-T. Oh, let's put an exclamation point. Flat. Flat is very important here, because if we post our thumb, see it's standing on the tip of my thumb, there's a risk of hurting yourself because the moving parts that are associated with the feeding mechanism can bump into your finger. Okay, so I want my thumb flat and away at 1 o'clock. Now if I'm lowering the foot, my thumb itself, the tip of my thumb, is nowhere near the danger zone. And the screw that holds the inner foot, come this way, Vern, over here. The screw is really far from my knuckle. You see that? But watch what happens if I stand it up. Now that, see, it puts my thumb in the danger zone. So I want it flat and backing away at 1 o'clock with the thread wrapped around my ring finger right there. Can you see that? Backing away at 1 o'clock. It doesn't matter what hardware is on the machine. This position works whether the edge guide is down or up. The swing edge guide is in or out, on or off of the machine. The body is still in the exact same place. Okay, so let's review one more time. The thread is just dangling there. We're going to take the needle thread, grab it, put our side of our thumb right in front of the presser foot and in contact with the throat plate, and simply pull that needle thread back, and it automatically just slides in the gap between the foot. I'm going to feed it from my left hand to my right hand. Just hold it. Pick up the bobbin thread. 1 o'clock as well. Now they're both parallel. Now I'm going to wrap it around my middle finger and pin the thread down with my thumb back and away at 1 o'clock. Doesn't matter if the edge guide is down or up. The other edge guide is in or out, or any kind of folders or binder attachment. This shape with your arm kind of arcing in a semicircle in more or less this position works with any configuration of the machine. Up here. This is your friend Al Bain for Leather, signing off, and we only ask for one thing. Please pay it forward.